Real opportunity to start tightening up this group. Well, that's a bit of misfortune for Mole, who only gets one dart at the double. That's all he needed. And Mole lifts himself off the foot of the table with a fantastic performance over the league leader Matt Cass, who will remain on 8 points, but now only 2 clear of the 2 Dutchmen, the man who's just beat him and Jimmy Vanee. And Mole in this one averaging 98.61, very, very tidy indeed. 3 maximums in there for Mole as well. 4 out of 7 on the doubles. Very, very deserving of that victory against the table topper. And now looking to join Damien on achieving 6 points. Dave Ladley and Nick Fulwell, who go head-to-head next.
Could have given him the match. Can Dave find 2s?
Yeah, Ladley's giving him the match here. This is a disaster on the doubles for Dave Ladley. He's had 4 visits, hasn't he, from 52. And Nick Fulwell takes full advantage of those misses. A big hug for the pair as Fulwell doubles up with defeats of Dave Ladley. Some words of encouragement from Nick Fulwell towards Ladley, who now finds himself stuck to the bottom of the table as Nick officially joins the race for qualification, maybe for the first time in this group, but it's those doubles that were a disaster for Ladley. 10 missed, most of them in what proved to be the last leg of the match, as he goes down 4-1 to Fulwell, who moves into 3rd place ahead of Rhys Colley on 4 points with Dave Ladley, and just behind Jimmy Vanee. And Colley and Vanee are up next.
Like Rhys has dominated Jimmy. He's beaten him 4 times out of 4. But what would be very, very odd
180.
Is if Rhys Colley was to win this game and be 5-0 up for the week on Jimmy, and then Jimmy qualifies and Rhys doesn't.
By the way, that maximum that Jimmy Vanee just hit was the 1,000th of this series.
Or visit break.
Options on this. It's left, but it's in. So it leaves tops. And Colley claims the leg. That's fantastic.
Rhys Colley.
Well, 4 180s in this match, but it's the 108 that is the crucial finish for Colley.
That shake of the head from Jimmy Vanee won against the darts.
This to win again against Jimmy Vanee. You just can't believe it. I never want to see you again, thinks Jimmy Vanee, as Rhys Colley beats him for the 5th time in 5 attempts. A 4-2 success, and it's one that keeps this group congested. And it's another match where the player who didn't throw first has won. That trend continues here at the Super Series. We've now had it 12 times in the last 13 matches. Remarkable stuff. Colley wins it 4-2, despite the lower average. He keeps beating Jimmy Vanee, who once again has missed too many darts at double, and Colley has now jumped from 5th in the table to 2nd above Vanee. Looking to leapfrog him is Nick Fulwell, who's up against the league leader next, Matt Cass.
This is a chance to win it, though. And could we have somebody who has the darts in the match winning the match? Double 18 will give him just that. And Matt is cast away for now.
Nick Fulwell.
Not a great game, but my word, there are 2 points in the back pocket of Nick Fulwell that he will not hand back. As far as Nick is concerned, he is now provisionally top of the table, even though he has played 1 more game than 4 of the other competitors. +3, his leg difference. The averages, they won't be too perturbed by that. We did get 1 maximum from Matt Cass. However, he is now off the top, but still in a provisional qualifying spot. But for how long? And when Damien Mole and Rhys Colley come back, they might have something to say about that. It's happened again, and he just doesn't know why it's happening.
Damien, you require 36.
There is that tungsten tension. That nervousness plagues Rhys Colley, and it's Damien Mole who keeps his cool to get a huge game won. He enjoyed that. A little wink. He knows that was a big moment, and finally Mole is having his moment, because this has been a tough week for him, but suddenly he is firmly in the mix to make it through to finals night. He's moved into 3rd place, but level on points with the top 2. Matt Cast and Nick Fulwell. And Jimmy Vanskee is looking to make that a four-way tie at the top of the table. He can do that by beating Dave Ladley after this break.
You record 170.
Not another one. Oh, he's got two this week. Bravo, ladders. What a stunning checkout that is.
Lightning doesn't strike 3 times.
It does, just in different places.
Game shot.
However, that's a lovely check. Oh, yes, Jimmy, it's in. It's in. Have a look.
Well, it's been rare that he's hit a double first time, hasn't it, all week, Jimmy Vanskee? So I think that's what the reaction was about.
Tally for the group. It couldn't be tighter. But I think Mr. Vanskee has got other ideas.
180.
Third 180 of the affair for Vanskee. Ladley hasn't had any.
100.
Maybe could have been advised to have used the 25 bullseye segment there. Would have been on a 2-darter, just like Jimmy, who converts into darts. And when it mattered, he produced the best leg of the match. An 11-darter for Jimmy Vanskee to win the game that puts him in a 4-way tie at the top of the table, and maybe, just maybe, does for Dave Ladley's hopes of qualifying for finals night. That could be it for Ladley. As for Vanskee, things are looking up. He's climbed right to the top of the tree. 8 points for him, 8 points for Fulwell, Cast and Mole. And Nick Fulwell will take on Rhys Colley, the man on 6 points in the table, after the break. The FBDO circuit. Rhys Colley full of respect for someone who kind of took him under his wing in Nick Fulwell, but he will be focusing on the rivalry now rather than the friendship, as is Fulwell, who levels up with a very fine finish.
Angry, but then he just stopped himself and didn't listen to his chimp. If you don't get that reference, you obviously haven't read the book. But this is double 10 again. Double 5 for Colley. And he finds it for a second time. And look at the relief on the face of the Villa fan. In this West Midlands derby, it is Rhys Colley who gets the better. And look at the table now. We will show you it in detail when we return. But for this game, it is a 2-leg cushion for Rhys Colley, who wins it by 4 legs to 2. A decent performance of over 90. And as we go into the middle match of the day, well, 5 players are tied on 8 points. We don't have anybody on double-digit points. In Game 8 of Friday, I can't remember that ever happening.
Matt Cast could be the first. He is the first. And Matt Cast returns to the top of the table after a 4-1 thumping of Dave Ladley. He really needed that after losing his first 2 games. It hasn't gone the way of Dave today, but Cast has pitched his 10 at the top. He's the first to make it to 10 points. Somebody else will join him. For Dave Ladley, well, it's the last 2 words of every book ever written. The end in terms of his Super Series chances this week. But somebody else will make it to 10 points and join Cass at the top when Vanskee and Mole go head-to-head next. Mole here, closing in on levelling this match. Excellently crafted this. Absolutely superb that from Damien Mole, because the first start in the treble 20 was awkward. It was to the left, it was leaning to the right, he stepped across, found the remaining available part of the treble, and then hits the double as well.
And for somebody who's...
Because now, well, we said it earlier, Vanskee will give Mole chances. He's given him one here. Can he take it?
How does he get past those? Oh my, great dart. He's not even sure how he did it. But that is one of the best darts he's thrown this year. Never mind this week.
3 darts to nudge Jimmy Vanskee out of the way and take his points tally to 10. Damien Mole, for the first time this week, finds himself in the top 2. And it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And maybe, just maybe, Mole will make his way to finals night in the end. For Jimmy Vanskee, well, it's a hard lesson. And the fall may have begun. He's now out of the provisional places. And when all of the players have played 8 points, there are 2 at the top, Cast and Mole, and one of them is in action next. Matt Cast against Rhys Colley, 2 points behind him, up after the break.
Away from it.
Well, Rhys Colley could be doing amazing things here. Double 5.
Game shot
because
the
he's
third
3-0
leg.
up.
Reese
Now
Colley.
that puts him on a +6 leg difference on 10 points, but he's taken 3 legs off Matt Cass.
And it could be the first time we see a 4-0.
Treble 20. Tops. Absolutely wonderful. Reese Colley runs riot, causes chaos for Cass, and now replaces him at the top of the table. That's a statement victory for Reese Colley in this really tight group. Colley averages 100, takes out 125 to win it, 4 out of 7 on doubles, and restricted Matt Cass to just 1 dart at double in the entire game. So Colley now moves on to 10 points. He's got a +7 leg difference. He's clear of Cass in that department and Damian Mole. There you can see it. Jimmy Vanskee on 8 points takes on Nick Fulwell in the next game. One of those players will join the party on 10. This is going to be a real grandstand finish, so do not go anywhere. It's a 62 checkout that Fulwell is going for here. And that's a great first start. He's left Jimmy Vanskee miles behind in this leg, and the leg is won. Fulwell leads, and Fulwell puts himself into provisional second place.
Doesn't get into a finish, so 6 starts from 141 should go.
Oh, this is exceptional. Absolutely outstanding from Jimmy Vanskee. A 4-3 win. A 1-4-1 checkout to win a decider, and that's a match in which he really had to lift himself off the floor. He struggled early in the game, but it is Vanskee who rises towards the top again. Nick Fulwell, well, it's going to be difficult for him now. Not mathematically out of the race, but as good as, even though he is only 2 points off the top. That's how close this has been. Vanskee now moves into second place in the table. He's level on points, as you can see, with Colley, Cast and Mole. But Mole can make his move. He's got a game in hand, and he takes on bottom of the table Dave Ladley after the break.
This time,
He's usually been pretty good at it, hasn't he? 66 is still an awkward one. It's only now going to be 1 dart at double for Ladders, who's looking at the top and finds it. He's got that in him. I have to say, his doubling has been decent, as good as out, and Vanskee's looking like going through. This is going to be an enormous last leg decider again, assuming we get there. We are there. 1 leg. 1 huge leg once again.
Damien require 150.
Well, he would have liked to take more of a chunk out of it. Surely going for 3 balls was never on the cards in that position, but he has found the 3 targets he wanted. Damian Mole, 4-3. And that is a win from the top draw. And he's done exactly what his Dutch compatriot Jimmy Vanskee did in the previous match. He's won a last leg decider with an enormous finish. 150 to win the match, 4-3. And that puts Mole in pole, because he now has the lead in the league table. He's on 12 points. There are 3 players behind him on 10. And there are 3 matches left to go in this gripping Group C. Don't go anywhere, and let's see how this concludes.
151.
He has gone under the radar most of the day because he's only won 1 match. But it's double 16. Played his best game yesterday in his 5th game, and so far, not so good for MC.
And very, very good for Jimmy.
That could have been.
Yeah, nobody knows what will happen from here on in. Matt Cass gets a dart at tops to stay in it, and he's found it. Of course he has. That's the kind of thing that's been happening all day long for the fish.
Oh, come on, Matt. Give it a chance.
100.
And now he has to wait to see if he's coming back.
1-4-1 to win the previous match. Now he's looking at 1-1-4. It's double 18. And Jimmy Vanskee gets the win over Matt Cass and ends his day top of the table. Whether he stays there or not will depend on the final 2 fixtures. He's top at the end of his campaign, but he's not even through, because Reese Colley is going to take on Dave Ladley and Damian Mole will face Nick Fulwell. If those 2 players both win, then that will see Jimmy Vanske fall from the top of the table to outside the qualification places. Don't go anywhere because nothing is decided yet.
It's Ladley who's getting to the finishers first here.
Oh, well, he goes the same way that Vanske went earlier on. He takes it out. What is going on here? Dave Ladley has come to spoil the party.
That's a decent marker. Double 5.
10.
I told you there were going to be key misses in this game.
48.
Are we going to see any more in leg 4?
Tops for Croly. Off the hook again, and he makes the most of his opportunity.
Who was throwing now? Single 16. We go the distance. Of course we go the distance. Seriously, how much?
Now it's over to you, Reese Colley. Your darting destiny is in your own hands. Double top. That showed guts. That showed real guts from Reese Colley, who wins 4-3. Taking out a 3-figure finish, where we've seen that before today, in a crucial contest, having survived 2 match darts, and Croly is through to finals night. Wow, breathless stuff. He's got the job done. Dave Ladley, credit to him. He put up a real fight in each of his last couple of games when he could have really broken the heart of 2 of the contenders. But Croly is now through. He cannot be stopped. Jimmy Vanske will now wait for the Dutchman Damian Mole, who is looking to win, to join Croly. If full well, though, gets the better of Mole, then it will be Vanske and Croly at finals night. Don't go anywhere, because there is still a score to settle.
60.
Damien has put together a decent leg. Double top to just ease some pressure and get a foothold in this final fixture.
That he'll be happy with 81. Nick is looking for 20 more than that. It's 3 legs to 1. And Damien now needs 3 straight legs, otherwise it's not going to be Saturday for him.
At the end, Mole may need another 3-figure finish here.
He's not going to get it. So Fulwell can knock him out and put Jimmy Vanske into Saturday.
Double 8 to do so. The Dutchman defeated. The Dutchman deflated, but the other Dutchman elated. Damian Mole departs the scene, beaten by Nick Fulwell in a result that sees Jimmy Vanske hang on to second place and qualify for finals night at the expense of his countryman Damian Mole, who won his first 4 fixtures today but fell flat in the final one. And Nick Fulwell wins 4-1. It's Croly and Vanske that qualify, and we will try and untangle what has been a really dramatic day after this short break.